to Global Take, presented by School Rubric, a show about the international teaching experience. Teaching internationally is one of the best decisions you can make as an educator. In this show, we will meet teachers and administrators from around the globe living and working internationally. Our hope is that their stories and experiences will inspire you to explore the world of education. We will learn about all aspects of international teaching, from becoming an international teacher to what countries are the best fit for you, to the challenges of being away from your home country. Come take this unforgettable journey to the world of international schools with Global Take, presented by School Rubric.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to Global Take, brought to you by School Rubric. This is a show that brings together international educators and athletic directors like us from all around the world to discuss pertinent topics that are relevant to all of us. And boy, do we have a fantastic topic for all of you today, and it's titled Dealing with the Unexpected. Good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm your first-time host, Catherine Tanco Ong, and I'm at a school that's in the Philippines. It's called Brent International School, Manila. And I'm so happy to be here, ready to learn and to share with all of you. And speaking of learning, we have a fantastic set of guests today. We have three awesome female athletic directors representing all parts of the globe. And they're going to be here sharing with us their unexpected events that they've had to face with and how they dealt with them. We're going to meet Claudia from Brazil, Sharon from Hong Kong, and Ajla from Sarajevo. So let's get to know our panel a little bit better now. And we start with Claudia, who, small world, we met for the first time of all places in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. This is for the Summer Institute of the NIAAA. And that was a great event, and it's happening, so free plug to them. Claudia, thank you so much for being on the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for the invitation. Just like Kathy said, I am Araya, Claudia Araya, but everybody calls me Clau, so that's why it says Clau. I'm the director of athletics and activities at the Escola Americana do Rio de Janeiro. I've been 10 years involved in athletics. I'm passionate about all the exciting activities that we go through. So yeah, very excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claudia. Interesting times in Brazil. We can't wait to hear what you have to say. Our next guest comes all the way from Hong Kong, and that's Sharon, one of my besties and one of the best ADs I know. Sharon, how are you?
Hi, good to see everybody, and it's really great. We just came off the soccer pitch, one of our first games we've had this year, so in a very good mood and looking forward to learning from you guys tonight. This is my 25th year in Hong Kong, my 12th as the AD here at Hong Kong International School. And we're really excited to talk about unexpected circumstances. And I'm going to pass it off to my friend that I just met at a NIAAA course just a couple of months ago. Over to Ajla.
Ajla, coming from Sarajevo. How are you?
Yeah. Greetings from Sarajevo and KSI International School of Sarajevo. Very excited to be with all three amazing ladies in this panel and to talk about a little bit more about unexpected situation that we face pretty much every day as athletics activities directors. This is my 11th year as athletics activities director in QSI Sarajevo and hoping to stay more. Thank you.
Oh, we're the same. Welcome to the show, Kyle. Can't wait to hear what you bring to us, coming from Eastern Europe. But before we get to our first question, I want to thank our viewers live now and invite all of you to connect with us. We want to hear from you. And so you can, through our live chat, you can make comments and send us some questions, or through Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. So feel free to contact us and we'll try to tackle some of your unexpected circumstances towards the end of the show. So we want to hear from you. And well, let's get to it. We all know as athletic directors that life is dynamic with so many moving parts. And no matter how early we plan, those plans can be derailed so easily. This pandemic is not the first crisis to halt international school events, and it's not going to be the last. And I believe the more we learn from each other, the better off we are to deal with more unexpected circumstances. And so, with that in mind, here is our first question from Sarah Zori.
Hi everyone, Sarah Zore here, the Athletic Director and Dean of Students at the International Community School of Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire. My question for you is, what are some of the biggest unexpected situations that you've had to deal with? And then how did you manage the crisis?
All right, that's a great question. Thank you, Zori. Thanks for sending that in. Sharon, you've been through quite a bit, Hong Kong protests and the like. How have you handled, what situations have you come across and how have you handled them?
Yeah, I would say my two categories are weather-related and government protest-related. And I think many international schools are sort of in the same zone in terms of having those types of challenges. And certainly each one that you go through, you sort of build upon and learn a few tricks that you can put into your arsenal, into your bank to use the next time. So my first one was my second or third year as an AD. We had a typhoon that hit while our sort of changed directions last minute, and our cross-country team was stuck in the airport in Tokyo and never could actually make it down to Guam. It took us 3 days to get them back home, and they never got to run their meet. But I learned very quickly that relationships with travel agencies were really, really important, and communications with parents during those times. Those are probably the two big things that if you have those in your back pocket, a system that works really well in terms of sort of, fighting fires as they come along. That was sort of a precursor to an even bigger situation in 2017 where a typhoon sort of gained speed and we went from a tropical storm to a super typhoon. And we were hosting APAC, which involved 150 kids that were here running cross country. And we had another 120 kids that were off in China and in Vietnam. And, really, we had to sort of call in the Army, call in the forces and say, okay, we're going to work overtime, both my staff and the travel agency, in terms of how do we get kids back, communicating with the ADs overseas in terms of, okay, we're not going to be able to run the traditional APAC because I need to get everybody home and you guys need to get your kids back home before this hits. So it's really important that, again, parents can be your biggest advocates. So have a communication hub that you're giving, hourly or every couple of hours, giving an update to parents to know, even if you don't have answers, letting them know that you're working on it and this is where you're at and this is where you're headed. I've found that helps quite a bit. And then also just that travel agency that you can trust to be able to call at 10 o'clock at night and say, hey, we've got a problem. Let's help walk me through it. And what are our options for getting people back? So those are my that was my two weather ones. And then I think you're all aware of Hong Kong protests that we went through last fall and pre-COVID. That was a big challenge because a lot of the roads in town were shut down, but we were really committed to trying to still give kids locally, give kids an opportunity to compete. So our local league got together and we started playing matches earlier in the day, getting kids home by 5 o'clock. So again, working with transportation, working with league officials, working with administrators who would understand that the co-curricular is as important as the academic daytime stuff. Those are all really important things to sort of get people on board so that you can have a great plan to move forward.
Yeah, I remember those Hong Kong protests. I had my dance team about to check in at the airport to leave, and it was like 2 phones. Do we go? Do we not go? And it was very stressful, and I had a bunch of, very, very upset seniors who I had to bring out to breakfast. So, but good points on the communication with parents and with your travel agent. Let's move to Ajla. Ajla, what have you encountered?
Well, on this part of the world, for sure, we are not having to deal with the weather, but we have some other things. one of the things that I noticed is that we face as athletics activities director all the time unexpected situations. But we always remember those ones that help us grow. So pretty much one of those months was last year, 2020, when we had to move our current at that time, our current campus to a new location. And we only had about 6 months. Can you imagine building a brand new whole campus and the brand new gym, which was a pretty much heart attack for me, looking into the into the regulations. And when you need to have all those regulations for the tournaments and games that you need to meet. And our school is part of CISA association, and they are following all the official regulations which we needed to meet, as well as expectations of parents and students and so on. So from, let's say, basketball height, volleyball net length, fine lines, floor, and everything. And the most important is the audience audience area, which is very important for our school. In the meantime, the second thing what was happening is the COVID-19, just about the time when we are in the whole chaos with the moving the whole campus to a new location. And for me, as an AD who is more traditional one, following the handbook and everything else, pretty much more established, going from face-to-face to virtual events was a little bit hard and challenging. So I bet for you too, guys, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So one of the other things is that I have to be more tech savvy. I had to put a lot of more time into that as well with the students, because they're not used to it. They're used to the face-to-face events. So those are two major things that happened for me in the past 2 years, and working with my school director, who helped me a lot to go through that, was a big plus in moving forward and for the future. So
Yeah, I like what you said. All these crises should really help us grow. Clau, what about you? What have you dealt with in Brazil?
Well, in Brazil, it was about a year ago when COVID was hitting the rest of the world, and my head of school was like, it's going to hit Brazil.
Right.
So we were lucky because he was very well prepared. But we had this Knowledge Bowl tournament here. We were hosting here at ERJ. But there was also a tournament in Brasilia, and I was sending my futsal teams over there. Unfortunately, I couldn't travel, and that was a big one for me. It was my first year here, and I couldn't be with the kids. I had to, the coaches. I mean, I trust my coaches, but still, I second everyone with a close communication with parents, because I make WhatsApp groups. WhatsApp is really big in Brazil, and I'm communicating, and I take photos and this and that. So that responsibility was laid on a coach, and so before the Knowledge Bowl tournament, I had schools coming from Panama, from Chile, and a lot here from Brazil. And they start calling me, is everything going to be okay? Are we running the tournament? I was like, yeah, everything's good. Mm-hmm. I remember the day before, my Nigel, head of school, comes to me and to my ear, he says, first case of COVID in Brazil.
Oh.
And yeah, we were doing it. So the next day, the teams arrived, the Knowledge Bowl teams. 2 days later, everything was good with the Knowledge Bowl. Everything was great. The teams came. I sent the teams over to Brasilia, crossing fingers, everything was fine. And first night, I get a call from my head of school. And he's like, we need to bring the teams back.
Oh,
there's a school participating there that has one kid that has COVID. The kid is not in the team, but there must have been some contact. Of course, parents were panicking. Next morning, I think it was 6, 7 in the morning, we're in school with my head of school and started calling. with the purchasing department, trying to get the kids back over here, sending videos to the kids so that everybody was calm, talking to the parents. Yeah, we were able to bring them back. Of course, the tournament was over after the first day, unfortunately. Knowledgeable was finishing that day, so everything worked out well. But yes, it was stressing. And yeah, like I said, communication with the parents was great. The night that we heard about this, I was contacting the parents until like 1 a.m. And the next day, the kids were back at home and safe. But yes. And yeah, my first like chaos on my first year at ERJ, but everything turned out well. And I wasn't there, that was very stressing.
Right. Again, and what I'm hearing is communication is key. I'm so happy we have some questions coming in. Hi, Todd. We're going to get to your question in a bit. That's a great one. We'll put that up later. But I just, I wanted to emphasize that the more we can learn from one another, which is why we're here on this show today, the better I think we will be equipped, for the future, any future unexpected circumstances that come. And one of my great friends, Doug Kilgore, yesterday said in a conference, take advantage of the learning opportunities. And that's what we're doing here today. And that leads us to our second question. And this is from a super smart, also female athletic director. And her name is Kate Mouton, and she's from Shanghai. So let's listen to what Kate is going to ask all of you.
Hi, I'm Kate Mouton, Director of Activities and Athletics at Shanghai American School. And I'd like to know what systems and structures would support your team in decision making in regards to unexpected circumstances.
All right. Thank you, Kate. Kate is with our APAC group, our organization. So thanks for sending that in. And Ajla, why don't you tackle this one first?
Of course. Thank you, Kathy. One of the things that I personally believe in, we in school have, is the command of chain. And this gives us a better communication flow to solve problems more quickly, and being on time with and being updated on everything what's going on in the school, especially when unexpected situations happen. One of the things is that what we do, we have an admin team that meets with the office team weekly, as well with the teachers who are the head of the departments and coaches. When I'm not talking about COVID, but more like when it's the regular school and athletics activities season. We're using now, since we are kind of switched to virtual one, we discovered that Microsoft Teams is the best for us to reach the students, reach each other individually, or reach a bigger group of parents. So for us, that's a number one communication style or method, how to get to each other on a daily basis. For us, for QSI Sarajevo, is having everyone on the same page help us to run school smoothly, and all the programs from academic, athletics, and activities. We also have keeping safe. We also have QSI organization crisis management team. We have child protection, and we have school regulations that we follow. And all of that help us to run the school smoothly, and also help us to solve the unexpected issues or problems more efficiently.
Thank you, Ajla. What about you, Claudia? Do you have protocols in place already?
We do. Just like Ajla said, I think it's really important to be part of a team, and having the athletic director being of the leadership team. I think it's very important, because we have bi-weekly meetings. We have a chain of command. We are able to make decisions. We have a team where we have about half of them are Brazilians, so we learn a lot from them, and we learn a lot about Brazil there. So yes, I think it's really important to work together, and I feel that relationship is important. I think I'm a huge advocate for building relationships. So I think it's really important that that the team has clear structures, that we communicate either by email, by WhatsApp, like I said before, on our meetings. So I think if there's clear structures, and we've been lucky to have a great head of school that has been like 3 steps ahead of us, like preparing us, and that's been very important.
So interesting you say being part of a leadership team. If you're in the admin, that helps too. What about you, Sharon?
Yeah, first off, shout out to Kate for making me feel homesick for all those APAC patches that we haven't gotten to earn over the last year, but miss those days. Todd's question earlier about crisis management sort of plays into the answer to the question, and that is we do have a crisis management team here, but when it relates specifically to athletic events, they want me to come to that meeting with answers. So it's like a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. So they look to me to sort of lead out on those when it even though I'm part of the admin council that directs with fine arts or academics, I take a back seat there. But when it does directly affect like a tournament or events or league structure, then they definitely want me to come with answers. Similar to what Ajla said, having a constant review of child protection rules, your school rules, and your emergency action plans are super important, because if they're not at the right there at the tip of your tongue, then again it's sort of how your community perceives how you handle is half the battle. That communication earlier that I spoke with in terms of making sure that you have a hub for communication where parents know that they log in there rather than emailing or texting you 50 times so that you don't have time to answer a phone or answer and deal with the frontline problem. I also want to put out a plug for the NIAAA, because I think that sometimes us as international educators, we forget the legal side of things. So just having those coursework and going to conferences and workshops where they kind of remind us of those legalities that are really more front and center in the US than they are necessarily here. So those have been very helpful to me in giving me a lot of information on how to deal with circumstances and those things that come out of left field. So yeah, I think we all seem to be on the same track, which is great to know.
Yeah, I agree with you. The NIAAA has been very helpful. And so thanks, Todd Parham from Alman Jordan, for sending in your question. His question was, do you have a crisis management team in place to help you as an AD, or are you the only one? And Ajla, you said you also had a crisis management team already in place too. And Clau, you seem to have your head of school on speed dial. So yes. It sounds like communication is really, really good. Are there any more questions for the audience? Please send them in. Ryan Paison, a shout out to you. He's one of my coaches from the Philippines. I want to take this time also to plug Global Take, because if it's not part of your lives now, it should be. So you can contact, Global Take is available on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube Live, and Twitter. So if you want to suggest a topic, or if you want to be a guest as well, send it to the powers that be, and you see the Twitter handle right there. Powers that be, that's Ryan and our friend Nick. Thank you so much for putting this together, and Wallace. So thank you very much. So I see it from Cindy. Great to see an all-female panel today. Enjoying listening to your thoughts. That's great. And I think Doug Kilgore's probably with us also today. One of the things that I'm taking home from all of this is that learning from others what crisis you guys deal with, and then learning from the crises that I have had to deal with. This really helps us better prepare for the future. I had to deal with we do homestays, and I had to deal with a house. One of my homestays pairs go on their way home and get a call from the parent, and she's saying, "Don't send these guests to my house because it's on fire." Okay, so simple things like that. But crisis, you can't prepare for that. But what you can do, and I learned this actually from Martin Halpin, who's my counterpart, our counterpart from Western Academy of Beijing. What he does is he prepares a hotel room every time he hosts an event. He saves a hotel room just for circumstances like this. And I'm like, ooh, that's a great idea, because when the homestay's house is on fire, then you need to be able to put them somewhere. So just little things like this. So there's another question. Upon planning an event, do you run through your risk management meetings ahead of time? And if so, briefly, how do you run these risk management meetings? Who wants to comment on that? That question is from Mo. Thank you, Mo, for being here.
Thanks, Mo. Yeah, that's a great question. If weather-related things where we know that there might be some specific weather-related transportation issues or those types of things, yes, we will have a short staff meeting before we get started. We typically, the first day of a tournament, we will have all the coaches together for a directors or a coaches meeting, and that's very helpful in kind of going through the chain of command and how we'll deal with me being the point person, but certainly if it's related to transportation or it's related to communicating with a parent who's trying to get in touch with a kid. But yeah, the nice thing is we're meeting with coaches and kind of, that first day, and that cuts a lot of it out.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're running out of time. Clau, what about you?
I usually have those meetings way before, especially when you're hosting an event. Right. It's really important to have everybody on board, and look at all these years of experience that just let us know where the places where we have to put more attention on it. But it's really important to have those meetings, I think, with more anticipation, so that when you have the event, you don't have to go, or the day before, you don't have to do that many changes,
Right, that's good advice. Yeah, that's great advice, Clau. What about you, Ajla?
Something similar to Clau. We do have in place the meetings that are taking a day before with the coaches and the visiting teams, so they know the rules and the regulations. But we are so used to it as an ADs that we expect always some situation to happen and prepare the whole plan for B, C, A, D, F, and so on. So the whole alphabet, I bet you guys too. So I feel we have to do that. We have seen so many things happening throughout the years and tournaments and stuff. So we are expecting it, and we are, I believe, trained for that. So to react in unexpected situations.
And by the way, so Ajla is head of CISA, so you've got added responsibilities there as well, right, Ajla? All right. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of a different thing now. On every episode of Global Take, we travel to different schools in different parts of the world, and we spotlight a school. And today it happens to be my school, Brent International School, which is in the Philippines. So let's go to the school spotlight.
It's time for School Spotlight on Global Take, presented by School Rubric. Let's learn more about the stories and information from schools around the world. What's your school story?
Hi, everybody. It's me again. And I just want to first say thanks to Global Take for allowing me to showcase my school, Brent International School. It's in the Philippines, and we are a K through 12 school. And I've been in the school now for 15 years, 11 years as the athletic director or the director for student activities. And one thing that really stands out to me about Brent is the sense of community and school pride throughout kinder through grade 12. I'll go into that more later, but we are associated with the Episcopalian Church, and I think that just helps strengthen our spirit of service. In fact, I'm in charge of the senior council this year, and the senior council, rather than getting 100% of a gift that the PTA was donating, they donated 75% of that gift to a charity, to another school hard hit by COVID. So, this sense of giving, permeates throughout the school. Our campus, which you see on the slide right now, is located outside of the capital of Metro Manila. And we have nearby, you can see in the back there, we have an enclave of homes, and our faculty live, as you can see, walking distance from campus. We have some families there too. And it's just such a wholesome community. You see kids playing outside, faculty kids and students playing outside, and our faculty parents feel so safe. It's great. And recently we went through WASC accreditation, so it kind of reminded us of our expected student learning outcomes, which is creating a global citizen, lifelong learners, healthy and tolerant individuals. So our mascot is a lion, and you can see on the screen right there, Brent Pride. It really runs strong. It permeates throughout the whole community, from our bus drivers to our students to our parents, even the admin. We're one Brent Pride, one Brent family is a motto, and it's really strong. And I love it on game day when you see the cafeteria person and the students and the PTA president and admin all watching a game, and they're wearing our shirts which say Brent Pride, in standout maroon. And it's just heartwarming to see all of that. And shout out to the admin, because our admin is very supportive, not just of course the academic side, but also the activity side. Our admin is very supportive, as is our PTA. Wow, they do so many things to support the school. We're part of a wonderful tournament called the Asia Pacific Activities Conference. That's APAC. And we get to compete in that. And one of the things that I pride, the school in is our sportsmanship, because we're known for our sportsmanship. And with regards to facilities, as you can see on screen right now, I never take it for granted. I'm extremely blessed to have such great facilities. We've got 4 full-size basketball courts, 2 full-size soccer fields. We recently built 8 covered tennis courts and a mini driving range. Yes, Todd Parham, a mini driving range we've got there. We've got a full baseball field. I think our center field's 384, I think. Newly renovated theater, and although that I wish we could have 3 theaters, we need them. Our population, this is pre-COVID, is a little over 1,000, and we have about 40 nationalities, I think, now. And so our activities program is very strong. We have over 100 clubs normally. I was able to put 50 clubs online this year, actually 54 clubs online this year. By the way, because of COVID, we are fully online and have been for a year now, and we will finish the end of the year fully online. But before that, our activities program is full of fine and performing arts, and that's from K through 12. We do a lot of stuff. And lastly, life as a teacher or living in the Philippines. Once COVID is done, man, everybody should come and visit the Philippines. We are known for our beautiful award-winning beaches, and I can attest to how nice they are with the sand. And for our faculty, I believe a happy faculty is a happy student, is a happy school, is a happy team if they're coaching for me, which means a happy activities office. We've got a faculty basketball team, volleyball every week. We've got flag frisbee and floor hockey. So we've got a lot of things for faculty as well. And the Philippines is beautiful, and it's known for its English-speaking, friendly people who love to eat and who love to feed you. So that's Brent International School in a nutshell. And I'd like to welcome everybody to come and visit the Philippines. And that's it.
Thank you for traveling across the globe with us to learn more about international schools. To hear more from international educators and learn more about these fantastic institutions, tune in to our live Global Take episodes as we highlight international schools in our School Spotlight section presented by School Rubric.
Well, and that's all the time we have for today. I am incredibly grateful to the 3 of you awesome athletic directors for sharing your expertise. So thank you very much for being on the show today. I'd also like to thank our guests who are watching us live, and for the future guests, don't forget to watch Global Take next Thursday as well. This is a weekly show where you can learn a lot. So thank you to the guests and thank you to our viewers, and we will see you guys again soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Thanks.
everyone.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Stay safe, everyone.
Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Ajla. Thanks, Clau.
Thank you for watching School Rubric on YouTube. Make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe in order to stay looped in on all of our diverse collection of shows, interviews, panels, tutorials, and more from educators around the globe. And visit us at schoolrubric.com for even more great content such as our online articles, Interact magazine, featured podcasts, and more. Thank you.